Hello everybody and welcome back to World of Warships Legends. My name is Spartan Elite 43 and tonight I've got a video for you guys in the Christopher O. Colombo, and this is just legendary tier in a nutshell. Like, this is literally just a quick game for you guys. I don't even think I stick around to the end of the game, to be honest. This is just one of those games where everything, you'll have to see it to believe it. Alright, so what do I mean by legendary tier in a nutshell? I don't play a lot of legendary tier for the simple fact that I find legendary tier very, I don't know. I was gonna say stale, but it's less than that. It's just, I don't know. It's unsatisfying, you know? Most of the time. You get into the match, you put yourself in a position, and the game's over. That's generally how legendary tier works, and it takes you like 3 minutes to get into a match. So you're waiting for a game, just to get into a game. Watch your team get steamrolled or the enemy team get steamrolled, and the game's over in 10 minutes. It's just like, really? And that's if it lasts 10 minutes. But yeah, so let me know what you guys think. Are you guys in the same boat as I am in terms of, yeah, you see what I did there? You're welcome. But are you guys, look, okay, so here, miscommunication, right? We end up running into our teammate. It is what it is. Yama's here. We're going to go ahead and throw this thing in reverse. Try to get off of the Yama. You can see I'm turning away. He's turning into me. I'm like, okay, well, if you want to go forward, I will reverse and let you go. I was expecting every battleship near me to be reversing because that's all anybody does, right? So you don't expect it. So I'm like, okay, well, fine. I'll blow my horn at him and I'll reverse, allowing him to know that he can go forward, right? So go ahead, go forward, Sunshine. You wanted to go forward. Nope, he's in reverse now. You see what I'm saying? Like, this is the stuff that drives me crazy. Because, like, I know what I want to do when I log into the game. Like, I take a shot, or I take a look at where, like, what I'm up against, and I'm like, okay, this is the ship that I'm in. This is how I can put it into a good position and go. Right? Like, I have a very quick, like, decision that I make at the beginning of the match that decides what I want to do. Now here, we get enemy Shima spotted. We're going to go ahead and aim way out ahead of him. Of course, you've got, like, this terrible aim. So, like, we take the shot, 16 rounds down range, and no shells on target. He turns away. We miss. I wish that there was, like, an intermediate zoom. Like, instead of it being all or nothing. Like, I want, like, right in the middle. I don't know what that zoom is, Wargaming, but if you could give us one that's like between those two zoom points, that would be great. So that I can still see a destroyer when I'm trying to lead it, preferably. But anyway, Yama takes a shot at us. I think it was Yama. I forget. It was either Yama or a Montana. I forget what it was. Either way, battleship takes a shot at us. It's not a consequence. We're going to move up into the center of the match. Now, if you look, we've got two destroyers on this side. There's a Shima over here. It is Yama. Yama's been torped into oblivion. Shocker. And he's now reversing, trying to stay alive. I have no shot on him. But look at the rest of the team. We have every single one of our teammates in the same location on the map. How many times have I said that this is a terrible idea? You don't have any crossfires. You can't really get a whole lot out of it. And worse than that, it's going to lead to some bad things. But don't worry. Des Moines comes around the corner, bow in. And then he's like, you know what? There's 16 nasty battleship guns looking at me. I think I'll turn broadside for him. Well, I appreciate it, Des Moines. He's lucky to still be alive. But, you know, the game does like to protect those kind of people. So, he gets away with it, and the secondaries are just chewing him apart. These SAP secondaries versus cruisers, like, it's not even a contest. Everywhere these secondaries hit, they're going to pin. And so they are just ripping him apart. And that becomes our first close quarters medal, right? So that's close quarters 1. I say, he did heal a little bit before we managed to finish him off. But there's close quarters 1. 53,000 damage already, right? So now what? Now we move forward. If this is the only one here, we know that the Shima ran wide, right? Surely that Shima wouldn't come back to hunt me. Little old me? That wouldn't be a thing that they would do, right? Now, fortunately, one of my destroyer pals comes over to help us, right? And at this point, I'm thinking, wow, what kind of teammates are these? I've never had teammates like this. This guy has looped all the way back around just to come into the middle and support me after I take out the Des Moines. And I'm looking over at the right side. I'm going, okay, Yama, Montana, Montana. There's an Alaska over there as well. Unfortunately, our Mino gets himself dev struck, as Minos tend to do, because they know only two things. There are two states of a Mino: dead and smoke. That's it. If you're outside your smoke, you're dead. I know that there's some good Mino players out there, but the majority of people in the Mino, they have two things in this world that they can do. They smoke up, and then they get dev struck. Now, you can see the destroyer on our left is actually spotted, and it is the Shima trying to torp us here. So I am forced to turn towards the right. Obviously, I go ahead and smoke up because I don't want to give up my broadside to a Montana or something else. As you can see, there's a smoke screen here, which is not ideal to my right. Our secondary is just chewing this Shima apart, and there goes our second close quarters. So we've got two close quarters experts, and that's when the gearing decides to show himself. So we've got the secondaries targeting him already. We've got 16 rounds of armor piercing heading in his direction. We slap him for all of his hit points. Of course, we leave him with just enough for the secondaries to kill. So we managed to get our third close quarters match, or close quarters combat medal in this particular match. But unfortunately, that is about where this match takes a turn for the worse, because we have a couple of Montanas and a Alaska here, and this Alaska's freaking begging for it. He's turning towards me, raising the Citadel. We aim just in front of the front guns, trying to go through the cheek. We've talked about this, and we blap him for half his hit points, but of course we leave him with just enough to continue to be a problem. And that's when the Montana is sitting here, full bow into me. I'm like, okay, well, we can't have that. Yama behind me is coming around the corner, so I can't just stop and wait. We've got torps back there to worry, or that he has to worry about. But that's when I see that the enemy Montana is broadside as well. So we're going to try to shoot him instead of the Alaska. Try to go through the cheek again into the Citadel if we can, and unfortunately we don't manage to get into the Citadel. We did manage to shoot the Alaska a little bit there, but you can see what the Alaska's doing here. He gets outplayed. First thing he does, go for the ram. That's what you do. But the game's over. We've done everything we needed to do to give this team the best possible chance of winning. As you can see, 155,000 damage, 4 kills. This game's over. Our team's in the cap. Their team is screwed. They got a Yama, a couple of Montanas left. It's over. So let me know what you guys think down in the comments below. We got this gearing out here who I really wish this gearing could have spotted, but unfortunately, their gearing managed to smoke up 2 Montanas and an Alaska. So, it is what it is. But it doesn't matter. These guys are going to go down anyway. But, yeah. This is why I don't play Legendary Tier. There's not much that goes into the thought process at Legendary Tier. It's just a mess. Like, most of the games at Legendary Tier are just a mess. There's no real, like, I don't know, strategy. There's nothing. It's just throw your ships out there, throw them broadside to everything, and die as quickly as possible, and one team will win and the other team will lose. That's how it goes, right? But Montana goes down. You can see it's not very long. Yama and other Montana will go down as well. I don't know. Maybe I don't know. A lot of people say I whine. I'm not whining. I'm pointing out this is the reason that I don't play Legendary Tier. It's just a shit show. Pardon my language. That's the best way to categorize Legendary Tier. I mean, there is no like thought process at Legendary Tier. I feel like everybody is so used to having just I don't know. I really don't know how to fix it. I'm trying to like put out like videos to teach people things, you know, don't do this, do that sort of stuff. But the problem is most of the people that are the problem in the game won't watch them. But down goes the Montana, leaving just the enemy Yama left in the center of the map with himself completely surrounded by conquerors and torpedoes. Our torpedo boats capturing the base to guarantee the win, and our conquerors going in to try to ram. So Yama, he's going to go straight through the bow of the Conqueror, punish the Conqueror for obscene damage. There you go, 30k damage plus, straight through the bow with 2 guns. And just gets rammed for his you know, because that's what you do, right? You just ram. Don't blame the Conqueror there for ramming. Don't really blame the Alaska for ramming either. He lost most of his health. It's funny to me that that's what everybody defaults to. It's like, oh, I got beat. I'm gonna just ram. But yeah, we kind of got hemmed in. We had the Yama coming around the corner behind us, so we couldn't really go that direction. If it wasn't for the Shima, though, I probably would have went around the island for the Yama first, and that would have allowed me to kill the Yama, most likely, then come around behind and deal with the two Montanas and Alaska. But because the Shima was in the middle, I had to respect the idea that he probably sent torps in my direction. So, I mean, that was his whole purpose of existing, right? We smoked up to try to avoid it, so we were hoping that he wouldn't spot us. But we still had to respect the fact that there is 370,000 potential damage coming our direction from that Shima. I don't care how good you are, how bad you are. A Shima with 15 torpedoes loaded, when you're in a small confined area, it doesn't take a very good player to smash you, okay? Especially when each one of those torps are doing 23,000 damage each. So, yeah, turning in to dodge those torps that potentially could have come, taking out the gearing, doing what we can against the other three that we run into, and getting rammed. But, yeah, let me know what you guys think. Do you guys play a lot of Legendary tier, or are you guys like me, kind of like sitting around 7, usually, tier 7? That's usually where I'm at, tier 7. Legendary tier, tier 8, meh. You sit around in lobbies waiting for too long to get into a game, and then when you do get into a game, the games are over so quick, it's not even worth playing, usually. But that's just my opinion. But if you like what I'm doing, punch the like button, leave a comment below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, I will see you in the next video.